Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Overtime with B&T. What is up, everybody? Hope y'all having a great new year. Happy 2021. Merry Krima, Merry Diwali, Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate. We do not discriminate. Ramming accidentally. I am here with the homie Big T.
You already know what's good. Harambe to all my Kwanzaa brothers and sisters in Zimbabwe. And Mazel Tov to all my Jewish brothers and sisters in Jerusalem. And Merry Christmas to the rest of you Gentiles. Let's freaking go.
And we got the homie David down here as well. Big
Harambe!
He is our resident Chris Broussard of the show at this.
Oh my God.
Harambe.
Harambe.
So how's y'all Christmas time? Y'all get what y'all want? Y'all...
Yeah, time off.
Okay, that's the best one could ask for. How about you, Big T?
Well, you know what it is, bro. It was just actually spent time with the family. I'm still up here in Belleville. For those who don't know where Belleville is, small city next to Ottawa in Canada. I was about to say Toronto.
Yeah, for people who know Toronto, because we got some people who are out of the area. It's pretty much like 2.5 hours east of Toronto.
Exactly.
And probably like an hour away from Kingston, give or take.
Yeah, literally exactly. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. But yeah, no, just enjoyed a Christmas Day football game, Saints against the Vikings.
Oh yeah.
Seventh-day Adventists didn't watch it, but
he saw the highlights. He saw the highlights.
Yeah, come on.
4:47 p.m.
Yeah, man. I was quite miserable for the holidays because there was only one thing I wanted just for the holidays. It was a gift from me to me. I wanted the pair of the Kobe 6 Pro Trolls, the Grinch colors. And by the way, these are, some people regard them as like the best colorway that a Kobe shoe ever came out with. So it's a nice little green apple color with little red accents. It gives you that Grinch vibe. I literally woke up, I think it was the 24th, probably like 6 a.m, just preparing. Like I got up, went to eat, make sure my mind was ready, all sound for the 10 a.m. release. I had 3 different browsers open because I know these are high demand shoes. So I was like, all right, I already know there's going to be a waiting room, just like what they did with the PS5. So I had 3 different browsers ready for 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock hits, all 3 browsers open. Waiting room. I'm there chilling, waiting. I'm like, all right, let's get it. As soon as I see the first browser open, close all the other ones.
Oh.
Kobe 6 Pro Tro, enter. Click on it. Next thing I know, all the sizes are available except, get it, size 13. All of them are available except for size 13. I'm like,
are you serious?
Bro,
take 12.5, bro.
Probably 5 minutes in.
I'm like
10:05. 10:05, bro. 10:05, 13 gone. And I can't wear 12.5 because the way my foot is, I'm like Goldilocks. If it's a size 14, it's too big. If it's size 12.5, it's too tight. I'm a perfect size 13. So
dang.
I was very disappointed.
Goldilocks. It was just right, but then it was just wrong.
Mind you, it came out twice. One on the 24th and one on the 26th. I missed on both opportunities.
Wow.
That was.
Now we know what to get you for Christmas.
I was just about to say. Maybe someone's selling it on Kijiji right now.
Those resellers are ridiculous. They like triple the price of
in the blood of your firstborn.
It's like I don't want the shoe that badly, bro. It ain't that deep.
What are they called? Let me Google them. I've never
the Kobe 6 Pro Tro Grinch.
Oh, the Kobe 6
Grinch. This year on Christmas Day? I think Luka wore them on Christmas Day this year.
I'm pretty sure he did. Anthony Davis did.
Yeah.
The rookie from Sacramento, Tyrese Halliburton, he wore
Halliburton, yeah.
them.
Those
But
shoes are
Halliburton's
nasty.
good though.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how good Tyrese Halliburton is? Oh.
another time when we get the basketball pod going, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
However,
It would
aside
have
from
been nice for you to get those shoes. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, as a tribute to Kobe.
you see
But
'em, huh? They look nice, huh?
the green ones with the black check mark.
Yep.
Oh, that's fire.
But outside
No.
of that, hope y'all enjoyed your Christmas. And now it is that time. We're in episode 9. We're one away from episode 10. So we
I
may
love
have
how our
something
episodes
special for you
don't
guys.
match. The episodes don't match the weeks in football.
Because
on
we didn't
episode
even
9.
start in week 1. We even
We're on
started.
episode 9. Football's at week 17.
Sorry, this isn't episode 9. This is episode 10. My apologies, everybody.
Oh,
It's
okay.
episode
Scratch
10. Congratulations. We're at episode 10. Most people
Well,
don't even
yo,
make it. Or
We
snap.
made
Thank
it
you.
for 10 podcasts. I'm so happy. I want to thank everybody for listening. For those who are listening on iTunes, Spotify,
Google.
whatever platform you are, even if you're
YouTube.
watching it, on YouTube, I see the views. We got a viewer from, what country did you say? Peru. Bolivia? Peru. Me gusta. Orale, vato.
Emperor Cusco. Emperor Cusco.
Wow. Okay. That's racist.
Dang, we just lost.
We just lost
that
Peru?
viewer.
We just
No. You don't know the Emperor's New Groove. It was based on Peru. So
I hear you. I just don't know how popular that movie is in Peru.
Okay. All right, then. Sorry for all my Peruvian listeners. I apologize if that is. not
I mean, I don't think they take kindly to their princes being turned into llamas. So, Brandon, the views of Brandon, Big B, does not
Represent
match the
overtime with
represent the
BAC.
overtime with BAC. Thank you, David, for the legal ramifications and the warning. I appreciate that.
Hey, I'm always here for it, man.
Anyways.
Support y'all.
If the regular season is officially over. We're recording this the Monday after the season finale. And in that same season finale, it was the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington to be determines or football team in what was the decider in who won the NFC East. If the Philadelphia Eagles won, they were already eliminated, but if they won, the New York Giants would have got in as they beat the Dallas Cowboys earlier in the day. If Washington wins, they're in. And what we saw in that game was towards the end of the game, Doug Peterson pulled Jalen Hurts out of the game in favor
after a fourth and was it a 3 at the at the Washington's 3, could have kicked the game to tie it. Doesn't kick it, goes for it. They miss. Then he pulls out Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. And a lot of people were upset. They pretty much said this was like they weren't even trying to hide the fact that they tanked the game. And a whole lot of Giants fans were unhappy. A whole lot of Giants players took to Twitter and they were unhappy. And I want you guys' thoughts. How do you feel about it? Do you think the Giants had a right to be unhappy with that decision by the Eagles?
Well, first things first, a team shouldn't care about what any other team does. For goodness sake, we could do all we can to lose. That shouldn't sway your emotions about us, because either or, it's a different franchise, different organization. So if I was an Eagles player or an Eagles fan, I would care about how the Giants feel. But if I was an Eagles fan, looking at the way my Eagles played, I would be quite upset not because of the Giants or anything like that, but just the momentum that the Eagles were going to finish off the season. If you just think about it, the Eagles themselves, this whole entire season has been quarterback controversy. Like, it's crazy how they started with quarterback controversy and ended with quarterback controversy. It was a team where I guess you could say the shadow of Philly Special was still looming over Carson Wentz. And we saw he just couldn't play out of his own mind. He couldn't get out of his own mind. Like the most sacked quarterback, the most thrown interceptions, like all this was encompassed in one person. He was Eli Manning. He was Jameis Winston. He was, who else do you want to throw in there? He was Tony Romo. Who?
Carson Wentz.
He was all of them
He was
in one
Carson
person.
Wentz.
He was Carson Wentz in Carson Wentz. He was all of those people in one person in one season, right? And obviously, this not being too far removed from him actually carrying the whole team last year. So obviously, well, to be honest, the whole team was battered and bruised. He literally carried them into the playoffs, and he got battered and bruised in the playoffs. It's to be debated, but just looking at this season, he basically just could not get out of his own way, and to the upset of the Saints, we saw Jalen Hurts ball out when he was given the opportunity, and you would think that would have been a great way. Obviously, they had a chance to make the playoffs. They obviously didn't when they took a couple of losses after, but a great way to at least give the rookie some momentum, give him some encouragement,
some confidence going into the next year.
Year, saying, "Hey, bro, Carson ain't coming back. This is your team." But Doug Peterson said no, and he basically punched him in the face with what was the name of the quarterback they brought in?
Nate Sudfeld.
Nate who?
Nate Sudfeld.
Nate Sudfeld. That sounds like a tertiary character in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Like one of those characters that actually don't talk, but they're like,
they're
hey,
just
Nate,
there.
We need more ammo. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it was quite.
There's also a clip that showed like Hurts on the sideline. He was like shaking his head. He's like, "Oh, I don't get it." So like, it was clearly a decision that probably they didn't agree with, but I guess it is what it is, type of thing.
Here's my thing, right? Where it's
go ahead.
What is the true incentive to winning that game? Be honest with me. Just you're trying now. You're now going for draft picks. This is not the NBA. You know, this is draft spots. You know what I mean? Like, you also get those.
If they won that game, they would have went to the 9th pick as opposed to the 6th pick. So I guess clearly Doug Peterson saw somebody that he was like, "Hey, I don't think he's gonna be there by the 9th pick." So
even if he doesn't, like, it's a much more tradable pick. Yeah, regardless, like 6 is much more valuable than 9. I mean, how much more with this class? I don't know if it's really significant. I mean, they're not going for a quarterback, so they don't even need to be in the top 2 or 3. You know, like so, like I don't know. It for me with the Eagles, and really with the Giants, actually, you know, if you were really concerned about winning games, maybe you shouldn't have waited until the end of the season to start doing so.
Or probably win more than just 6 games on the year.
Right, like what are we talking about here? The NFC least? We're really talking about whether or not a team owes you a win and no one was still going to hit 500? Like what is the I don't see how the Giants can even feel so entitled. As like Giants fans, how could they feel so entitled?
Giants. Since when were they entitled to anything?
That's what I mean. Like what have you done? What are you? What have you like? Come on, man! Like, you're the only team that's had the same quarterback all year. Is that your main kind of like? That's why we deserve to be here.
The only quarterback that is able-bodied.
Literally, and even then, he put up similar numbers to Wentz.
Yeah, Dwayne Haskins lost his job.
Kyle Allen.
You have Carson Wentz lost his job. Like literally all the quarterbacks in that division, like Dak Prescott was out, you know, and Andy Dalton was out. The only team to really keep one quarterback was the Giants, and you still only got just 6 wins.
And even them, do you remember they brought in Colt McCoy though? They brought in Colt McCoy for one of their games.
Right? Yeah,
I forgot which game it was.
Against
they brought in Colt against the Browns. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's why I was like, dang,
they down
this
bad.
Sad.
They down bad.
But goes to your point, David. Y'all need to be worrying about your locker room. Instead of worrying about what other teams are doing when it comes to winning and losing. But to go back to your point, I mean, Coach Peterson said, and I quote, "I was coaching to win."
Sure. What was that after the whole season? Whatever. It's fine. I really, and you know what? Here's my thing about Doug Peterson. I will give him that he was coaching to win, but he had Carson Wentz for most of the year, which is why he was losing. And here's my thing about Carson Wentz, right? So a lot of the major criticism about Carson Wentz kind of started around the Nick Foles Super Bowl era, because the comments was that Nick Foles recognizes that he's not as talented as Carson Wentz, so he's more willing to be coached. Versus Carson Wentz sees himself as so talented that he doesn't take well to being coached. And I think that plays a major role in whether or not you want to keep somebody like that as your starting quarterback. And all it takes is for them to not perform well. Because like think about it, if Aaron Rodgers had the Aaron Rodgers personality with the Carson Wentz performance, he would be out of a job in no time.
Jordan Love instantly.
But at the same time, like, you notice that Doug Peterson seems to call different plays whenever Carson Wentz isn't in the game as well.
I noticed that.
Like, they didn't start doing RPOs until Nick Foles was into the game, and the RPO pretty much was what won them that Super Bowl, because like that was at the time it was still a college base type of scheme, and like most teams didn't know how to prepare for that at that point in time.
Well, like think about it. Like if you have a quarterback who you make a call for, and he's gonna go into the huddle and say, "This play is stupid. We're not doing this."
Oh, so you think he's checking out of the plays?
Okay, all right.
Wow, that's a serious talk. That's a serious take.
Then.
Well, then again, like that, I could see that. I could see that as a possibility if. Well, then again, you might be right, because there is like a locker room divide. Because I really don't think that whole locker room was sold on Carson Wentz. And to your point, if he was doing that, whether it be like taking the huddle into his own hands, could be a reason. Because like there are quarterbacks that are trash. There are quarterbacks that have been garbage, but the team loves them regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like this guy has just, and it's not even to do with the Nick Foles thing, because Nick Foles has been gone for 2 years. But even still today, I feel like even when he was apologizing to the locker room and everything, and like people just aren't buying it. Like Zach Ertz is this guy, he's not gonna leave him. But like I feel like that locker room is not fully with Carson, and that could be a part of the reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just feel like Doug coaches, like with the exception of Mr. Sudfield, Mr. What's it called him? NPC or NPC, non-playable character. I feel like Doug Peterson actually coaches better when he doesn't have Carson Wentz. Like, look at what he was doing with Jalen Hurts. Like, obviously Jalen's legs were a part of it too, but this guy was, how many? Where was he? They literally needed to put an APB out on Miles Sanders before the Saints game. He comes onto the Saints game, 100 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm.
Where did this guy come from, right?
Another thing, since you brought up Miles Sanders, as great as Miles Sanders is, like, he's a different type of runner than what LeGarrette Blount brought to that team in their championship run. I think Doug Peterson, he needs a power back to really make that scheme that he made work back then. And it's like, it's not a knock on Miles Sanders. Great dude. He, like I said, he played with Saquon in Penn State. They have that same type of play style, elusive receiver back. But there's a difference between a guy like Miles Sanders and a guy like say Josh Jacobs or David Montgomery, or a dude who's looking to run you over. You know what I'm saying?
Have you watched LeGarrette Blount's highlights when he was on the Buccaneers?
Yeah.
This guy was a monster.
I've seen a couple.
He has a lot of hurdles too.
The hurdles thing.
Very, very.
A lot of people don't remember he was a punt returner at one point as well.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, like, okay, you know how, like, somebody hurdles a man, they gets depleted, and like as soon as he touches the ground, this guy hurdled you and then ran it in for the touchdown.
Yeah.
Multiple times. You know what I mean? And like, and then on top of like him trucking people, so like that's a tough task to ask for a man like Miles Sanders, because number one, he's not built like that. Even if he was built like that, like he doesn't play. That's not his play style. So, we never saw Doug Peters. Like, obviously, we never saw. I believe the run game could still be successful. It was just that the velocity of using it, because Boston Scott is kind of like a Josh Jacobs. He's much smaller, but he does kind of play as like that bruiser. You know what I mean? That bruiser.
He's
back.
not shying away from the contact.
Yeah, he's thick. Like he's literally like he kind of looks like Darren Sproles, but like fatter. You know what I mean? Shouts out to the big bone in the world, but like he still kind of looks. He looks really thick. So like I feel like it's just man, it's crazy
I
to think
mean,
about because like
Darren Sproles, the San Diego Chargers legend.
here we go. Here we go.
The
As
Philadelphia Eagles legend.
if he didn't play for the States. As if he didn't play for the States.
And he played
Anyways.
between those 2 years. I don't remember.
he was an undrafted free agent. No, but like that's why I feel like their run game, what could have been, you know what I mean? In retrospect, let's look at this here. I feel like if they really put a lot of emphasis in that running, like even if it's not working, at least put it into your like the way the Titans do it. Like the Titans are down like 20 points from the Packers, and they're still running the ball.
Henry.
You know what I mean? That could have hid a lot of Carson Wentz's mental gaps instead of just putting this guy out there like a lamb to the slaughter.
Yeah, you kind of like even you can draw the same parallels to what the Cleveland Browns did this year. You can also look at what the Cowboys did in 2016, where it's like, this is what we are. We're run first. We run, and then we get you with play action. Good. That usually works. Because when teams start stacking the box, then you have one-on-one matchups, and then you can be like, okay, I like this matchup. Boom, throw it to him. But at the same time, Alshon Jeffrey, like outside of that one touchdown he got on Marshawn Lattimore, like we haven't really seen any highlights from him in like the last couple of years.
I know.
Since the Bears days, really.
Jalen Reagor.
I was gonna say since the Super Bowl, but damn, this guy went all the way back to the Bears.
Hey, Jalen Reagor, the rookie, it's like y'all picked this guy over Justin Jefferson, who was still on the board. And look at Justin Jefferson; he's already broke Randy Moss's record. So it's like
Eddie on that Randy Moss team, you know what I'm saying?
In a Vikings uniform.
In a Vikings uniform, doing the gritty. Yo, that's crazy. I feel like Jalen Reagor out of that entire wide receiver mat, like biggest not disappointment, but like you can see the other wide receivers kind of left him in the dust.
Reagor?
Yeah.
Because
I'm looking
at expectations weren't super high. I don't think expectations were super high.
But like even if like if you look at Ruggs, you look at obviously Justin Jefferson league of his own, you look at Jared Judy, like they made more of a splash than Reagor ever did, and you could chalk that. Go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say I was more disappointed with CeeDee Lamb in terms of just having him on the field more. You know what I mean? Like
you expected more with the time he was getting, is what you're saying.
I just would have liked to have seen him healthier coming into the season. You know what I mean? Like I just, but
I mean, he was a part that he I'd say he contributed to the fact that the Cowboys were even contending to make it.
Yeah, but he also
that's not. Let's not stretch things here. They were still like 6-10. These are bad teams. These are bad teams.
Like I just think of like two plays that just really stuck out in my mind. I didn't really pay much attention to Cowboys as much in years past because obviously I'm not a Cowboy fan. Hey, Tim is glitching out on us now. Oh.
I want to check your Wi-Fi there, buddy. Kill your camera for like 2 seconds, and then you should recalibrate some audio because it's most likely your bit rate.
Yeah. But anyways, until T gets back, like there was 2 plays that stuck out in my mind. Specifically was remember the first Washington game, or was it the first or was it the second? The Thanksgiving one. CD, he had a touchdown in the back of the end zone that he just dropped, and then when they didn't convert, that's when the floodgates opened up, and then just Washington just left them in the dust at that point. And then just this past week versus the Giants, it was a second down and he was wide open, and it was literally just him in the end zone at that point. They would have been up with like how much seconds, like 50 seconds or a minute or so. So those plays specifically, that's where I look at CeeDee Lamb. It's like, person have dropped that.
Hey man, look, it's also quarterback inconsistency. You know what I mean? Like, there's a big degree to which that plays a part. And it's one of those things. I
Yeah.
can't remember which game I was watching, but like the third stringer, like the second stringer was in the game, and he was just tossing it to like third string and second string receivers because like
Yeah.
you gotta know timings. If you're calling for comeback routes, you gotta know someone's pattern. You're not practicing with first stringers.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not practicing with first team, you're not gonna be able to hit them in the game, right? It's just
Not to mention, like, a lot of those, like the second string guys, like those, more times than not, those are guys who haven't really played meaningful snaps since they were in college. So it's like,
yeah.
a lot of them forget, like in the NFL, like passing, like throwing the guys open, it matters a whole lot more as opposed to college, where like, let's say I'm running an out route from the outside there. Like it's just a quick out, just get to the sideline.
Yeah.
As a quarterback, you can't wait for me to make the move before throwing it there. Like as soon as I get to the top of my route, you have to throw. So by the time I turn, ball right there.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's something that like you can't really practice that. Like
exactly.
You,
it's timing.
you need to know your receiver as well in that aspect.
Sure. Yeah.
But outside of that, let's talk about the playoff matchups. Hopefully Tim makes it back in time. Wherever you are, Tim, where we miss you, even though it's been a couple of minutes, but
rest in peace.
Oh,
hey,
he's
my necromancer?
Yes, you are, clearly. Well, is there something you ain't telling us there, Dave?
No, so we don't practice Obia here.
Just witchcraft, huh? Or voodoo?
None of that.
Voodoo.
Jamaican, we don't do that.
What are you trying to say? Say voodoo's
Nah,
only
because we were
African?
saying right before
What?
you came back, we were saying, wherever you are, Tim, we miss you. I hope you come back soon. And then he was like, rest in peace. And then as soon as he said rest in peace, you came back.
It's that Haitian magic, baby.
Hey, man.
Fam.
None of us here are Haitian, bro.
I'm just saying. It's in the Caribbeans too, bro. Don't sleep.
Hey, man.
I know you
ain't lying, but we call it Obia where I'm from, bro.
I know you see Princess and the Frog.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, but I look, Obia is a different thing. It's the same thing, but it's different.
You know, we have
like in Guyana they call it a jumbi.
Jeez.
Jumbi?
Yes.
Thanks.
Don't quote
we have
me.
like water.
Guyanese people, don't quote me on that. I'm just going off of what my parents told me.
Right.
Like I said, we better sanctify this podcast before we start conjuring up some shit. Let's be honest.
Yes, sir.
Here it just...
But moving on. Though,
sorry,
I was
out here pissing off Doug Bachelor.
I'm just saying. Who knows? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, my brothers.
Yes, sir.
Principalities in high places.
Come on,
this podcast turns into a revelation seminar. Brandon, forgive me. I lost internet connection.
Before I was gonna bring up the playoff matchup, but I think we should discuss who you think's MVP. Like after everything that's said and done, like would it be safe to say that this is Aaron Rodgers MVP at this point? Look at this guy. What's wrong with this guy?
You really think so?
This guy's really gonna make a case for
Mr.
That dude fumbled that in week 8. He fumbled that lead.
He didn't fumble it away. He stumbled.
Unlimited turnovers.
Dang. Yeah, you go. Watch him make it to the NFC.
You get a pick. You get a pick.
You get a strip sack as well.
You hit it with the Oprah. The Oprah.
Well, we can all agree Aaron Rodgers. So like,
here's what I'll say about this. I think Aaron Rodgers will win it because the narrative has favored him all season long.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I think Derrick Henry.
You think he should be
by far the most important running back in the NFL?
Mm-hmm. The man just did 2000, bro.
Yeah, and it's not just about the 2000. It's about how hard earned his runs all are. Mm-hmm. And what it does for his team and how it opens things up for AJ Brown, how it opens things up for Tannehill to find those running lanes after the draw play.
I was surprised at Corey Davis,
Mm.
because he had some numbers this year that I was like, yo, like, did he just like, did he do a body change, like a Captain Ginyu body change? Because like, I didn't think he was ever gonna amount to anything at one point in time. Like, whenever you heard of Corey Davis, you're thinking, yo, this guy is trash. And now all of a sudden he's making a 1-2 plays for that team.
Hey,
But
man,
I do
look.
understand you with the whole Derrick Henry. It's
Yeah.
like the MVP. I don't know if that's how it was intended, but it's pretty much become a best quarterback award.
Yes,
Yep,
exactly.
seen that.
That's
But
absolutely
it's
right.
unfortunate because what Derrick Henry forces every team to do is load the box,
Yeah.
and that is valuable for every single position.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just because they can load the box and he can still break off massive runs.
Basically,
You know what I mean?
what you're saying, David, for
Yeah.
those who are, running back impaired,
Mm.
and I do say impaired, can your team function without this player? Is basically what the MVP is. And we clearly see that the Tennessee Titans do not move unless Derrick Henry moves.
Yeah.
We
You
see
can
the
also
Packers.
make the case
I was about to say, give the ball to Aaron Jones, and they're scoring touchdowns.
I mean, not just that, but like talent-wise, offensively, they have a very balanced attack for the Packers. You know what I mean? Like I've said this before.
You say
I'll
this
say
is
it
their
again, I
most
think,
balanced offense they've had? Was that what
since
you
the
were
Super
saying?
Bowl run?
Since the Super
Probably.
Bowl, yes.
So, no, the Super Bowl run wasn't balanced. They had the best wide receiving core in the
Yeah.
league.
Who was their
Who
running
was
back?
the running back that year?
James Starks.
Oh,
That was James. But that dude could catch, bro. A dude could catch. You could run.
Yeah.
He was dual threat. Bro.
James Starks.
Probably
That's
caught
a
more
name
than he
I haven't
ran,
heard
though.
in years.
Yeah. But honestly, though, I really do feel as though like Devontae Adams is not going to get the respect he deserves for the quality of routes that he runs.
Yeah.
And I think that's what helps as well. Like Aaron Rodgers is great at throwing people open, but he doesn't really have to do a ton of that with Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Like
That dude has
like,
some of the nastiest releases off the line.
His releases are great. His cuts are great. You know, his breakaways.
And he's becoming a lot better after the catch as well.
Yeah, because he stopped looking at those passes all the way in. He does the quick look and he bolts.
Yeah, and he be what's it called? You know, like they always say the difference between like and because like the margin is so small, right? The difference between an excellent wide receiver and a wide receiver who's just good is somebody who's staring down the ball and then waiting for it to come. Because as soon as the cornerback sees your eyes staring down the ball and your hands coming out, they're gonna just start waving, even if they're just watching the ball. But like Devontae Adams is literally just sticking his hand out in the last second before he can catch. Like those ones. I forgot which game it was playing, but like where he literally just snagged it within the last second. It's unbelievable. And he's making Aaron Rodgers look way better. And I'm not saying, like I said, we all know Aaron Rodgers is gonna get it, but he's making gold look like platinum right now.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is definitely gold. He's definitely a part of the NFL's elite. I just think that there is a lot more help than we probably give credit for. And I think that the impact of Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback does not necessarily change things for their running game, even though they do have one of the top 5 rushes this season, right? So it's not, it's not like they aren't running the ball, but I mean, having a top 5 rusher versus having Derrick Henry is a very large gap, and maybe about 1,000 yards. So it's a pretty.
Was it you guys? I was saying that in order for running backs to win MVPs, they literally have to play out of their mind just to get those numbers. Can we look at Sean Alexander? He had to put up, 28 touchdowns. LaDainian Tomlinson had to put up 31 touchdowns.
Most touchdowns in NFL history.
Had to do that. Who else? Marshall Faulk. Did he win an MVP at 1.2?
I don't think so.
I'm sure Marshall Faulk won one.
Even
but
Chris Johnson.
The point is, they had to put out ridiculous numbers just to even get considered.
Yeah,
it's literally become a quarterback's award at this point. Has a wide receiver ever won MVP before?
No, not MVP.
Can't think of a wide
Offensive,
receiver.
not offensive. They'll always win offensive MVP.
Because it's like why give
Yeah.
it to the receiver when you could give it to the person throwing
The
him
guy
the
that
ball?
throws him the ball, exactly.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like we said, it's these dependent positions
Yeah.
never become MVP because people will always say they're dependent. Like, if anything, you can get a wooden, those kung fu wooden statues that people, Ip Man uses. You could get that to hand the ball off to Aaron Jones, and he could still get like 10 to 16 yards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, they still consider the running back position a
Mhm.
dependent position. So like, it
But-
is a wide receiver. It is a biased award, I think.
Yeah,
It's-
Marshall
it's-
Faulk
it's
got the
whack.
MVP in 2000. Yeah.
Okay. Was that still when he was on the Colts, or was that?
No, that was
Rams?
when he was with the Rams. Greatest show
Okay.
on turf.
Yeah, 2000.
Oh,
Now I'm looking at his stats. He has 17 touchdowns. So if he literally had one more game, maybe then he would be a surefire for Derrick Henry. But right now he's sitting at 17 touchdowns. If he had just one more game, then maybe to just get into like that 20 to 28, 24 touchdown marker.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't know, man. Like if you look at like Ryan Tannehill's like last running touchdown, you look at it and like they run the play fake to Derrick Henry. Everybody collapses.
That was that.
And Ryan Tannehill is literally untouched for the entire.
Are you talking about the one versus the Packers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally untouched. Not a single person comes within 5 feet of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean. Like that to me is the MVP.
That's what he means.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like you don't have you only have 17 touchdowns. How many assists do you have? How many how those screen assists do you have where everybody's collapsing on you and then like you got somebody running wide open by themselves. You got the quarterback who just sneaks around the other side, or you got a fullback who's just getting a little dump off. It's just the impact I think is a lot farther reaching when you have a really great running game.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that watching what actually happens on the field matters more than just the numbers, or do you believe they kind of help hand in hand? Because it's usually the numbers. We just go with numbers and we like that's the MVP.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of the two, because I think if it was just numbers, obviously Deshaun Watson would be a front runner for the MVP. But
wins or losses,
I think
doesn't matter.
that's the thing. I think the win column is the number that matters usually the most to people, and then they usually look for the best. Usually it's the best player that contributes to the most wins, or at least second, right? So you've got 1 and 2 between like the Chiefs and the Packers.
Do you think Josh Allen should get some considerations?
If there was a most improved player in the NFL, he would run away with that.
Wait, so does that mean that he's held back because of his previous season and not just this season?
I think it's very difficult to shape a narrative in your favor when you're not being expected of anything.
Gotcha.
It's not impossible. Like obviously, like Lamar Jackson was not someone who had a ton of support prior to that season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you remember?
Yes.
Yeah. But you still have opportunities, I think, to kind of change the narrative about yourself, but it's also where you're playing too, right? Like nobody gives a hootenanny about the Bills.
Titans or the Bills. Bills Mafia does.
I mean, no disrespect to Bills Mafia. Don't find me in my house. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, no one cares about Bills Mafia, but Bills Mafia.
Nobody in this podcast.
I only know one person throughout my life. I'm 26, going on 27. I've only known one guy who I could say, yeah, he's a Bills fan through and through. If you're watching, Luxon, hey, but that's the only person I know who's like in Toronto that's a Bills fan.
Yeah.
So,
wait, do you know more Saints fans than Bills fans?
Yes, I do actually.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where.
It's funny. It's because we're the closest to Buffalo of.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not just that. They used to play in the Sky Dome.
That too. Yeah, but it's like,
were they
really going for the Bills or were they going for the opponent? That's the real question.
Hey man, if the Ravens are coming to town, I'd be there.
Listen. NFL, Roger Goodell, whoever is listening to this,
Mm.
bring Toronto an NFL team. I
Not
promise
Toronto, man.
you will
Not
have
Toronto.
all my money if you brought an NFL team to Toronto. I promise you right now, I'm first in line for season tickets if Toronto
I don't
gets an
know.
NFL
Wait,
team.
wait, wait, wait.
I don't see it happening just
What
because
if they had to choose? You had to either keep the Raptors or get a new NFL team.
Raptors.
Who? Raptors.
Raptors who? What are you talking?
Raptors. Who?
Look,
I
you think
knew it.
53 dudes want to bust out their passports to go and play a game every week?
That's what. Don't they do that?
Come on, man.
Don't they do that for the Raptors anyway?
They
Yeah,
play
there's
Tampa
12
Bay.
guys though.
They play in Tampa Bay right now because of
Yeah,
COVID.
they do play Tampa. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's two. What do you mean 12 guys? There's a whole entire support staff that still has to.
Yeah.
fly
Okay,
back.
but
the
that's I'm not talking about players. We're just
players.
talking players.
True. Yeah, man, bro. If I had the choice, I'm sorry, Raptors, you guys can take a seat, and you need to
That's
get some
crazy.
country boys, some
Baby
boys from Boston,
dinosaurs.
That's
from
crazy.
Baby dinosaurs.
But you
Shit
know how
is
sick that would be?
crazy.
Look, honestly, like there's no. I know everybody loves the NBA. There's no greater accolade, I think, in like the Western Hemisphere sports world than the Super Bowl, man. You know it. Like that moment is greater than any NBA championship. We can get into the conversation.
The only reason why you can even say that is because the final game of the season is a guarantee.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see it.
Because you could be up 3-0 in the NBA finals and still lose, and then you gotta then keep the hype
You
going.
know, it
for
hasn't
more and more
happened
games.
yet, but still the possibility that it can happen. So
Versus the Super Bowl, which is going to have a winner that night,
Yeah.
even if it takes all night.
Literally.
Mhm.
But that's
That
what
just
I'm
makes
saying.
it more. That just makes it better for a casual fan. When you have a 17 week season, casual fans can actually tune in to once a week.
Mhm.
You know how many fans actually watch all 82 games for their team? I don't.
I was just about to say, I'm like,
Well,
no.
a man like Skip Bayless, he says he
Exactly.
watches every LeBron dribble
Stop it.
since
Stop
he
it.
came into the league. But I'm like,
That's crazy for a Spurs fan to be spending time watching
For somebody
LeBron
who
play
spends his
basketball.
life
that's what he
hating
says.
LeBron.
He's like, oh, I've watched every LeBron dribble since he's come into the league. I know what I'm talking about.
Sounds like a hater to me.
Man, stop that noise.
Hey, but before we move on to the next topic, since we brought up backers, who would you rather have at like as an all-time greater Packer receiver? Would you prefer Sterling Sharp or would you prefer Devontae Adams?
I think Devontae Adams right now has.
Let's
proven
remember
himself.
how good Sterling Sharp was at one point. Like
That's
if you compare
kinda
the
crazy.
numbers, he
Yeah.
was like right there with Jerry Rice at that point in time.
I only know Sterling Sharp from what his brother says, obviously. So like I obviously never really watched his highlights that much. But if he's half as good as what they said he was, they literally said this guy was on the trajectory to be one of the greatest.
Yeah,
wide
look at
receivers.
his numbers. Like he only played 7 seasons, but look at the 7 seasons and line it up with Jerry Rice. It's literally like right
Side to
there.
side.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And his last
Yeah,
season, he put up 18 touchdowns like Devontae Adams did before the neck injury. So,
I mean, also I will say this: quarterback play makes a huge difference in wide receiver success.
Who was throwing the ball to Sterling?
Brett Favre.
That's pretty. Actually, I thought it was even before that.
Yeah. You
how
forget
old
how
do you
long
think
Brett
he
Favre
is?
was in the league for.
Brett Favre's been here for like 60 years, man. So I'm just like, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know, man. From what I see from Devontae Adams, like obviously he's been getting a splash, but like has he been getting the splash like this since he started?
He was pretty slow at the beginning because he had a lot of like injuries. Like he still has the little nick and knacks here. Not to mention, like I'm pretty sure he was the third wide receiver behind Jordy and Cobb.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you could say Jordy and James Jones.
Mm-hmm.
But like ever since Jordy left, it's pretty much been Devontae Adams' team. Then
Because I would feel like obviously he's made a name for himself now, but I feel like if he could do at least this one more season, doesn't have to be the exact same, but like at least like to this prominence, then he could take that position. But like I said, like I didn't really watch too much of Sterling Sharp, so I don't really know.
Well, he was before our time, so I get it.
Well, even checking his highlights. So if Devontae, like even for me, the Michael Thomas man, if he can do something like this again in this season, Devontae Adams, I would have to put him in like the top 3 wide receivers of this generation. Because like it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah,
so I think who are those 3?
I think
who are those 3, if you don't mind me asking?
Come on,
this generation of this gen. So when I say this generation, I'm thinking from like 2010 to 20.
Oh, 10 to 20?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, Megatron.
Top 3?
Man, you can't even say that because you have to think about the people who like
who are retired.
There's some people that retired.
For me, it's
like
simple. For me, I think from like 2010 to the 20, Antonio Brown, Julio, and there's somebody else I'm missing there.
I did forget about Antonio Brown, actually.
What's that? There?
Des Bryant?
Fitzgerald.
From 2010, though? I think when I think of him, I'm thinking of the 2000 to like 2010.
Yeah, so you're thinking more 2015 onward, because if you're thinking 2010 to 2013, ain't no better receiver in the NFL at that period of time.
That's true. Like if we're talking, I know what Brandon's thinking more of like
Megatron.
Look.
Brandon's thinking about like the Cardinals, like the Super Bowl Fitzgerald, and that was 2008. So
that's when I think of Fitz.
That's 2009.
When I think of Fitzgerald, I think of like from like 06 to 09 time. I think that's like that was his best year.
I think as a man who continues to break records or continued to break records, now that he's considering retirement. Yeah, please don't go. But
hey,
there's still a lot to be said about it, dude. I hope not. I mean, Kyler Murray is the best quarterback he's had since Carson Palmer, I guess.
Kurt Warner.
Since Kurt Warner, fam. What do you mean?
Carson Palmer was after Palmer. He had a good 2 years with that Cardinals.
Yeah, it was after Kurt Warner. I don't see how that's a wrong statement.
Yeah, but like
I'm saying Kurt Warner is better than Carson Palmer.
Yes, but I said best since Carson Palmer.
Oh, yes, true. What about didn't Fitzmagic play for the Cardinals for a bit?
Did he?
Fitzmagic? No.
Y'all remember when a dude named John Skelton? He was Larry Fitz's QB at one point.
This is why it's unfair. Look what he has to work with, man. Like he had the old Carson Palmer, he had the old Kurt Warner, he got the young Kyler Murray. He had Josh Rosen at one point.
Whoever's listening to this,
the Rosen one.
I'll leave this for you guys once again. From 2010 to 2020, who are your top 3? I'll even extend it, top 5 of that period of time. Who was the best? Who were the best wide receivers during that period of time?
Yeah, now you definitely got to throw Fitzgerald in there and Megatron. The rest are like just in the later halves of the 2000 of the like 2018, 2019, 2020.
I can't disrespect AB.
Yeah, definitely.
So
would you put AJ Green up in there?
I would if I didn't think AJ Green and Devontae Adams were basically the same player.
Really?
Yeah.
AJ Green
the route running is crazy. The route running is insane. Like
AJ Green, he's suffering that same Chad Ochocinco treatment.
It's like, the Bengals treatment.
He's on a team that isn't that good and doesn't get that much like TV time, so people forget about what he's doing over there.
Yeah, they refuse to let him go.
And he's had the last couple seasons injured as well. So
would you put
Brandon Marshall is up there for me.
Yes. Would you put Des Bryant in that conversation?
I don't think so. I think the hype around Des is always bigger than the production.
And that's not even 2014. It's like, has he ever been considered a top 3 receiver outside of that great year he had with Romo?
Like, you know what? Remember Demaryius Thomas?
Of course.
Yeah.
Dude
Yeah.
was
But
head top
I
on a lot of
I
people.
also look at the fact that he was kind of a product of Peyton Manning, because what did
I
he
agree with
do
you, which is why I
after
said
that?
Brandon Marshall. No, I agree with you. That's why I said Brandon Marshall, because Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, I mean, he was still eating with
Brandon
Tim
Marshall was
Tebow.
putting up numbers with Fitzmagic on the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Wait, was it Fitzmagic that was in there?
I don't
No,
think
no, no. It was Matt Moore.
Fitzpatrick, he was with the Bills during that same period of time.
Yeah, he's bounced around, but like, I think Brandon Marshall was one of those dudes who's just like,
He had
be
Jay
like,
Cutler
go get a bucket,
twice.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine
20
having
catches
Jay Cutler
twice?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he still hit 20 catches
Yeah.
more than once in the game. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. That dude to me, he's a dude who gets himself open. He puts in the work in the run game. He puts in the work, just even downfield blocking. Like a lot of receivers just be scampering, kind of jogging, waiting for it to be over. A dude goes to work, and he comes to work every play. Love that dude, man. Brandon Marshall is definitely in my top three for the 2010s. So for me, it would be Megatron, AB, and
Brandon Marshall.
Yeah. No disrespect to my dude Larry Fitz, because I love you, man. Please send me a jersey.
Yes, Larry
practice
Fitz.
jersey.
These guys have some weird belief that you're the GOAT. So if y'all are watching this, you gotta support them, man. I keep on going back and forth with them on who the GOAT. I said your top four. I said your top four. So, but these guys have
Since when did you say top four? This is
I said
he did say top four. He has T.O., Randy, and Jerry, and then
so after, that's respectable. That's respectable, to be honest. Like, for Brandon to bend that far, that's pretty respectable, because we all know he has those three on the Mount Rushmore of wide receivers. So you can slide our boy Fitzgerald up there. You know what I'm saying?
You put him over Megatron. I respect it.
I know. I never would have thought.
And that's only because Megatron didn't play long enough.
Yep, I agree with you. Megatron is great, but he needed to.
That's the only reason. It's like Sterling Sharp would probably be higher up on a lot of people's list if he played more than 7 years.
Hey, man, it's one drop in the puddle in the ocean of wide receivers.
But moving on, we still got like a couple more topics I want to get through. Surprises of the season. Something that if somebody told you at the beginning of the season, you would have been like, you crazy, bro. No
Bears
way.
making the playoffs.
Really?
That's a surprise to you?
After losing 6 straight games? After losing 6 straight games? Are you kidding me?
Okay. I see.
I mean, you said from the beginning of the season, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but okay, even in the beginning of the season, what out of the Bears made you think that they were ever going to be a playoff team?
Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what we've clearly established that they clearly showed us that terrible offensive play can negate great defense, and sooner or later a defense breaks.
It's to a degree, but I think it's because of the kind of like position that Khalil Mack plays, where he kind of mixes between the Mike and the Sam linebacker.
Yeah,
he sometimes just goes in there and
sometimes he lines up at outside linebacker, sometimes he's on DN, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just depending on formation, probably like.
I think I've seen him do a couple sets as Mike as well in coverage, because he can cover, he can sack, and he can pressure. You know what I mean? So like that to me always gives you a chance to play in close games.
Never forgot he was the only person who won All Pro at 2 different positions. I'm pretty sure he's the only person who ever won All Pro at 2 different positions: the outside linebacker and the DN. That was insane. Oakland Raiders, Khalil Mack. People forget.
Yeah, man. That dude, I never understand why that team blew up all the talent they had.
Gruden.
I guess, but like no man is that insecure, right? I don't know. It's like hot take, I guess. Is John Gruden insecure?
The Raiders. So any other surprises from you guys?
For me, it was the Dolphins.
That was me as well. That was me.
Yeah, I think Brian Flores really, he really showed up this year. I think that was, and I think his players showed up for him.
He drafted well.
drafted well, and his players showing up for him, I think, was a really big surprise for me. I don't think the Bills surprised me as much.
A
Well, the
lot of
Bills
people
were,
had
were
them winning the division, especially.
yeah, the Bills were already
Yeah.
on that trajectory from last year. So
Yeah,
if
I think
Stephon Diggs
that's
was the only thing that just pushed them over the hump.
well, they needed to get a player like that. So I think
Yeah.
that was the surprise for me, I guess. Maybe them being willing to go out and make that kind of a deal.
Yeah.
But
What about
yeah, Miami.
Patriots
No.
full pas?
No,
Listen,
that
listen.
didn't surprise me.
Did we see it coming?
Listen, for
Someone
all
didn't.
those who know me, for all those who
Hmm.
see my tweets, I was on the wagon of saying the Patriots could go 10-6 with a hopeful 11-5. A hopeful 11-5. But I
You
didn't
weren't that far
realize
off.
I didn't realize Cam was that gone at that point. I
Well,
gave him hope that
we all
it
were
was
drinking the
injuries.
Cam Kool-Aid in the
Yeah,
summertime, baby. All
we
the
were.
workout videos,
Yeah,
all the
we
"Hey, they ain't ready. They ain't ready.
I
Yeah, clearly
mean-
he wasn't ready either.
I mean, was it wrong of us at that
Yes, we
point in time? Were we wrong to think that?
Here's my thing. If it was like the Adrian Peterson comeback tour,
Mhm.
absolutely we could have been like, yeah, lean into this, go wholehearted. But here's the thing. Talking about someone playing quarterback.
Mm.
It is not the same thing. Your athleticism is an asset. It is not the main feature.
Yeah.
He needed to learn the playbook.
Yeah.
He not only needed to learn the playbook, but he also needed to learn to protect the ball. I think that was one
And-
thing he didn't give himself enough practice
Do
doing.
you guys
That's
watch?
always what happens when you're coming back off an injury. You don't have good
Mhm.
reps protecting the ball because you don't have guys hitting you regularly. He's
Yeah.
probably redshirted for the past 2 years. He hasn't been hitting eons.
Do you guys watch the games? Like, there's also his pocket presence isn't there
not
at
good.
times.
Yeah.
Because there's times where like it's not even a blindside rusher. It's sometimes it's somebody coming from his front side, and I'm like, Cam, you didn't see that, and then he gets clocked. I'm like, ooh. I saw that from my TV screen. You didn't see that?
Hey man, the game is moving a mile a minute, bro. What do you mean? But no, the most important part is like, even if you didn't read the playbook, or like you just weren't good at reading defenses, David hit the nail on the point. It's the protection of the football, because that single-handedly cost them so many games. Like we were talking about, the defense,
the one versus the Bills when he got punched when he was trying to run it in.
Like literally right there, like you're going for a scoring drive. All you need is a touchdown to win the game, and you're already like pushing. Like you have the Bills on the ropes, and you get the ball punched out of you. Like
even the Cardinals game that they won, like he threw 2 picks in that game as well. So they could have lost that game if Zane Gonzalez could hit the field goal. But for me, the surprise would have to be the Cardinals. That's
not making it to the playoffs.
Yes. Some people say, I think I was one of those people. I said that the Cardinals could make a push for the division title.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I
thought that DeAndre Hopkins' impact would have been the difference maker there, but
bro, they're still printing out
his
t-shirt. With a t-shirt with that sea of hands, they're still printing it out before they get the news report that said you didn't make the playoffs. Stop the printing. Stop the printing.
Stop the presses.
Stop the presses. No, 1,000%. What was their record before they just started losing badly?
It's just a tough division. That's the real issue. I think that's why I was like,
and they lost twice to the Rams.
Yeah, their schedule was not in their favor, and it's a really tough division to win.
And they lost the 49ers game as well.
The 49ers
I think that was the game they needed. I think they really needed that one.
Yeah, because they lost to the Seahawks too, right? So like, what were they in their division?
To the Rams,
7?
Split with the Seahawks and the Niners.
So 2-6. 2-6 in your division is not going to get you to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's for sure. And that's the painful part about it, because like that team looks like a playoff
not 2-6, 2-4. 2-4. Because you only play your division.
2-4. Yeah.
6 times. Yeah, but that team looks like a playoff team. Like
they were also missing Chandler Jones as well. So That's the pass rusher that you could have had. Patrick Peterson, he doesn't look like the Patrick Peterson that made a name for himself.
Yeah, but Buda Baker's playing great, so it's not the secondary that's the problem.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The protection, do you think it's the protection for Kyler that plays a factor?
Yeah, but I think when you got a scrambling QB, you're not gonna spend there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just
Yeah.
you need dudes who are gonna know. You need to pay receivers who are willing to work a little extra hard to get open and stand and keep running routes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of receivers who, after 4 seconds into the play, will just stop running their routes.
They don't know how to run the scramble drill.
Hopkins? Is that a shot at DeAndre Hopkins?
It's not a.
Well, DeAndre's
not
not
a
the
shot.
only wide receiver on the team.
He's not.
To be honest, I even think there was other than
Christian Kirk.
There's a lot of dudes though who stop running very early.
Yeah.
You need your receivers to keep getting open.
Either.
Well, yeah, that's how I feel about receiver blocking. But
like, he wants a robot to be a wide receiver.
Look, if you could put a cinder block downfield,
no emotion. They just run to the end zone, stop, drop the ball, and walk back to the side.
You know who does that? Larry Fitz. Okay. I'm glad we had this talk.
Well, there was that one time that he didn't spike the ball.
And I was like, sir.
I was shocked. I know, right? You're just like,
what is this emotion?
My pearls.
Probably were taking the kids away. Like, oh, look. With the Cardinals, it really is sad. Like, I say it's sad because of D-Hop, like, specifically, because it looked like a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
But they did. They look like a playoff team.
Here's what I will say to you on that matter. Derrick Henry. What was their rushing attack looking like this year?
Who, the Cardinals or the Titans?
The Cardinals.
It was some days. Some days were better than others.
Yeah, some days it stopped existing.
Yeah.
Some days easy it is for safety. You know how easy it is for safeties to play when they don't have to be when both of them get to be outside the box.
Yeah,
that's true. True. See, run the ball. I don't know.
Run it, even if you don't do it well. Even if you don't
just keep them offense or honest. Sorry, not offense.
Like, you know how easy it is to just not keep the team honest when you can just say, okay, we're covering, we're gonna run a bracket on Fitz and Hop. Like, that's, you can do that for majority of the plays. You can do that going down the stretch because you're not worried about, because Kyler is a pass first guy. You know what I mean? Like, he is a pass first quarterback who can run. It's not like Tannehill. Like, Tannehill to me is actually like someone who really wants to run.
Yeah. But because he's a quarterback, he still gotta throw.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, like, well, it's not that crazy, but no one's gonna buy your play action pass if you don't run the ball.
Of course.
And that's what happened with the Patriots in the Week 9 game versus the Saints. They were trying to play action, but nobody believed they were running the ball.
No one knows. We know you're not going to actually give the ball to the running back. So why am I even going to bite on this fake? Like, just blitz this guy.
That split second of thinking it's a run, it's a difference.
It's huge.
It's not being open and it being a touchdown, essentially.
Especially like
Hop has that release.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
especially like those bootlegs. Those bootlegs that Aaron Rodgers be doing, where he'd just be like, fake, tight end, touchdown.
You mean the Joe Flacco 2012 special? Just bootleg and just throw it to Anquan. He'll come down with it.
It's a shame that Todd Heap wasn't a part of that, you know?
You should be happy, man. He got you guys a ring.
Oh, Flacco?
Yes.
The bootleg special.
You know, here, I don't like to talk too much about this, but Flacco's contract, Flacco's contract following that Super Bowl literally crippled our team.
Oh.
Yeah. Was that the reason why they couldn't re-sign Ed Reed, or they just let him?
It was one of the reasons, but I think they also just didn't believe in it anymore. I think they just let him, do you want to go somewhere else for your pastures, whatever. Yeah. I think he went to the Jets or the Texans after that.
And then he got traded to the Jets.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I hoped he was going to be a lifer. You know, I thought he was going to be our Udonis Haslam, but
did he come back and retire for the Ravens, or he just retired?
no.
1-day retirement. Oh, okay.
Oh
Nope.
wow!
I thought T Sizzle was gonna be a lifer, and then he went to the Cardinals, and then he championship chased with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
He's got 2 rings now, and he leads the Ravens in all-time sacks. So, is he a Hall of Famer? Will we consider him a Hall of Famer?
You will always have the space
yeah.
for the Suggs, man. You'll always have space for the Suggs.
You remember his
Terrell Suggs is a Hall of Famer.
Remember his Sunday Night Football intros? The little
Yeah, because he never went to
Hacksaw
college.
Ball so hard university.
Yeah, because he never went to college, right? So that's pretty rare in the
How'd
NFL.
they pick him up?
I don't think there was any rules against college players. I think it was just that it's just like it's so impossible to profile yourself as a football player without playing in college. But he was 6'6" and playing outside linebacker.
I mean, that's profile enough.
End. So you get those guys. If those guys are available, you grab them.
What are you, convicted rapist? Perfect. 6'5".
Can you
Let's
catch
get
the
it.
ball?
Can you catch?
Can you get
like
the-
Hey, look, it's not Jerry Jones out here. They don't just grab felons.
Oh man.
In this team, we don't judge. Put the knife down, please.
If we don't got any other surprises of the year, then I guess we can get to the upcoming playoff matchups.
Oh no, hold on. My last surprise of the year is
Okay.
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz. You didn't think he was gonna fall off this badly, did you?
You know what? The only quarterback who actually had a worse season than him actually this year was Sam Darnold. So that's something that you should probably think about.
Sam, as Tim would call him, Dan Arnold.
Dan Arnold. Or hey Arnold, you're off the team. That's what they need to call this guy because he has
Like, he was
looks like
set
a
up for
football.
failure though, because Adam
No,
Gase
he wasn't set up for
wasn't
failure.
trying to win.
Don't do that. He wasn't set up for failure.
My Jets?
Dan
No, it
Arnold.
Adam Gase?
Adam Gase. Come on now.
Nah, man.
That dude stayed
Nah.
his welcome way too long.
Yes, he did, but that doesn't change the fact that Sam Darnold came out and played like poo every game for a whole year.
Yes.
Bro, have
very
you
whole
seen some
year.
of the passes he made though?
Do you remember which other quarterback was on that roster at the beginning of the year?
who was on there?
Flacco.
Man, we just talked about
Flacco.
Joe Flacco, baby.
Flacco's on the field.
Fluco.
Flacco was, he even played some games. He had some pretty balls too. They're like, hey,
When
Flacco,
Dan
slow down.
Arnold was not even playing.
Yeah.
But that should tell you what the threshold is for this team. Because you know what team let him go? The Broncos.
True.
Not to say Drew Lock's not balling out. He's a dope man.
He's
But-
inconsistent.
He is inconsistent. So if you have a veteran quarterback who won a Super Bowl, who you still let go to play Drew Lock, and then another team gotta play him, and then this dude is still the one who Sam Darnold's rolling with.
Yeah.
Come on, man. And the only quarterback who had it's like Carson Wentz was literally talked about like he was going to be the second coming of Jesus. Like they talked about Carson Wentz like he was about to be the greatest thing that we had ever seen.
And
All
10
right, let me
games
ask you
straight,
a
he put
question.
in work.
Goff
be
or
honest.
Wentz though? Who y'all taking? Goff?
Goff.
I'd take Goff,
Jared
man.
Goffel?
Yeah.
Nah, Goff, like we've said it before, you give this guy a clean pocket and he'll slice you in half.
But my thing about Goff is like, it always feels like he's just a puppet because he's
That's fine.
It's literally like
It works.
it.
I would
McVay
prefer
pretty
a
much
puppet.
calls the plays for him. Like McVay says, "Yo, if this is open,
Yeah.
go there." Like it doesn't feel like it's Goff who's making the reads out there.
That's fine with me. That's fine with me. I have no problem with a coach coaching players.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't have a problem.
Not
I
even-
might-
Okay. Okay. All right.
My problem is when a wildfire burns out of control and you can't even win a division. Yeah, it's won by a team that's sub 500.
Okay. All right. You're right. All right. I got no more. I got no more to say on that matter. Then. All right.
Rams got 10 wins.
They
And
did.
they beat good teams along the way. So
Yes,
Yeah.
they did. They got 10 wins.
All
What
right.
are we talking? What are we talking about here?
Well,
I know.
since you brought them up, we can get to these games right now.
Okay.
So on
Playoff
Saturday
football,
night,
baby.
we got
Playoff football.
to open it
One
up
and done.
the Indianapolis Colts at Buffalo, the Rams at Seattle, and the Buccaneers at Washington.
What's the first one?
The Colts versus the Bills.
I'm sorry, Phil Rivers, but another year where you will not be in the title hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Oldest quarterback who does not have a ring. It's a shame, but we'll keep it moving. It's going to the Bills.
So you think it's just this is it for Phil Rivers?
Oh no, he'll still play, but he's just not going to get another ring this year.
You think he'll come back
Yeah,
after
for
the
sure,
Colts?
for sure.
He's on a one-year contract as well. Remember that.
Everybody keeps talking about Carson to the Colts too, but I feel like he's one of those. He's a player that's not going to retire until he gets like severely injured. So I feel like he's going to come back. I'm not wishing it, but I feel like he's going to come back.
Aren't you?
No, I'm just saying.
It's an unintentional wish.
Yeah, it's a prediction.
Okay.
I'm like, bro,
It's a
you
prediction.
don't want to
Prophesy,
stop.
brother.
So you think Bills? Is it close, or is the Bills just gonna run away with that?
If the Bills lose this game, I don't want to hear I don't want to hear Bills and Mafia in the same sentence ever again. Because the hype behind this team, we're gonna take this. Nah, I don't want to hear it. So I'm taking the Bills. I'm putting my faith in Josh Allen.
In a perfect world for me, the Bills make it to the bowl to face Brady, and Brady puts them down one last time. In a perfect world.
Oh, yeah.
In a perfect world for me.
Talk about poetic justice.
Crying.
Give them the 0-5 in Super Bowls. Oh, I love it. At age 43, you can't write stuff better than that. You can't write stuff better than that.
See, I want that to happen, but I have to sacrifice too many of my own desires, so I can't accept that.
Hey, so Rams Seahawks. How y'all feel about that one?
This right here, this is gonna show if he really is that guy.
I don't want to put this on DK to win the game, but the game's on DK to win.
He has to beat the Ramsey matchup.
He has to beat Ramsey. 100%. It has he cannot keep getting worked on.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like it's Ramsey, so you got to understand. But to be that
I do
elite
believe
level,
they'll move DK around, like they'll put him in a couple motion plays just to get him the ball if Ramsey is pretty much smothering him.
And I think if it's playoffs, they will just put Ramsey on him.
You look to your guys. When the lights are brightest, you look to the star players. So
this is basically DK-tron. This is basically his rite of passage. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
when it comes to like elite wide receiver talk, because we talk about prospects and like what you could look like, but playoff football against a top cornerback is like that's the moment where you're gonna be like, okay, are you gonna be a Megatron or are you gonna be
just a very good player?
Just a very good player, a seasonal player, which is not what you want. Des Bryant, actually, Des Bryant.
I think the second X Factor.
Even Terrell Owens. Remember when he got into the playoffs? He really made a name for himself when he was still with the 49ers.
Yeah.
So, yes, he did. Yeah.
This is.
Did he not win a bowl in his first year?
Nah, he never. Terrell Owens, he doesn't have a championship.
Isn't it really?
Yeah, he played with Steve Young for a little period, and then he had Garcia.
He's with Jerry too, though.
Yeah, he was with Jerry at like the end of Jerry's run in San Fran.
Yeah,
they had one before he came.
Was it Jeff Garcia?
Yeah.
But
Jeff Garcia was after. He was pretty good, man. No, I think I think the other second X factor is whether or not Jared Goff plays and how well he plays coming off that injury.
But that backup quarterback was pretty good.
Oh,
against
what's
the
his name?
Cardinals.
Wolford?
Wolford is quick.
Wasn't
I
he
don't know
like a
if you guys-
CFL player or something, or was it XFL?
I think they got him from the CFL. I think
Oh.
they got him from like they said like they got him from like the
It
one
was either
maritime
somebody
team.
was from XFL and somebody was from CFL. I remember it came up in.
No, the CFL dude was the one from the Cardinals.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Strafolsky. Well,
Sure.
Streffler. What the hell is his name?
Strep throat, whatever.
Strep throat.
So what we say?
Bro.
Is this a high score or a low score game?
I'm gonna say like 16-9.
16-9. Oh, also, will we see Jamal Adams? This is his first playoff game as well. Do you think he has a coming out party? Maybe a pick six?
No.
Because we know Blitz Boy, he's been getting a lot of heat on the internet about not being able to catch picks.
It's weird that people do that. I don't really understand that. All
Doing his
DBs,
job.
all DBs are terrible at catching the ball. That's why they play DB. I don't understand how this is his fault. He's not in as many situations.
Ed
to be able
Reed
to,
was probably a better catch of the ball than a lot of other
wide receivers, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Ed Reed is an anomaly, though.
You're right.
You know,
And
the league does not see an Ed Reed every year.
That's what what do they call them? They're like generational, like once in a blue moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's gonna be a high scoring game still. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Jared Goff's gonna come back ready. I think he's gonna come back and he's
getting that bionic thumb.
He's gonna be a game time. I think he's gonna be a game manager. I think he's gonna come out there and just
run the ball, play it.
Yeah, do some Alex Smith stuff. That's that guy.
Don't put the defense in a position where they have to spend majority of time on the field.
Yeah,
that's true. I still say like 30, probably like 35, like 27 or something. Not Cardinals, Seahawks. My boy Mr. Unlimited is gonna come clutch and then lose, but he's gonna win at least one playoff game.
I don't know. I feel like he's on a downward trend right now, just based on how he started the season.
He's turned it around.
But the offense has kind of been sputtering as of recent. Like,
I know.
Look against the 49ers. They only had, what was it, like 16 points or 19 points?
Yeah, they beat him by like 6 points.
It wasn't like eye-popping or any. Oh, it's 26-23, sorry. But I remember at like halfway through the third, it was like 16-9 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think it has to be like a massive battle of defenses, but I just don't think I think the Rams just match up well with the strengths of the Seahawks. I think Aaron Donald is going to get pressure. Yeah. I think Jalen Ramsey is going to stay tight in coverage. I think Blitz Boy Jamal Adams is going to get pressure. Prez is going to get pressure. Like what these teams do well, they're built. That's the thing about divisional rivals. You know what I mean? Like they're just built.
They're built
the third matchup.
They're built to beat each other.
Yeah.
I believe it'll be low scoring as well. 17-14. That's my prediction. I don't know who's gonna be the 17. I don't know.
Basically, if Mr. Limited throws at least 2 picks, if he throws 2 picks in the first half, they're losing this game.
First half. Yeah. Who wins games when they throw 2 picks in the first half?
Hey, let's not forget he did throw 4 interceptions versus the Packers and still won that game.
Yeah, if it was
off the strength of the Legion of Boom, but neither here nor there.
But it was still an onside kick that went completely away from them. That cost them to win.
Bostic. That wasn't for him. He was supposed to be a blocker.
That's the point.
Gordy Nelson was behind to catch it. You want to be a hero. That's
the point. So people keep forgetting about that. And was that the same Super Bowl that they lost to the Patriots?
Yeah, that was the same Super Bowl.
Poetic justice.
Got to be a hero, though.
Poetic justice.
And then we have Buccaneers at Washington.
Yo, Washington.
That is an interesting game. That is because did y'all see the clip of Chase Young saying, "I want Brady"? that could either go really well or really badly. If it's the Brady of old, that dude's not gonna see Brady all night. But if it's the Brady we've seen in recent years, if it's the Brady we saw this year, then Godspeed.
What they need to do is put Chase Young for interior pressure and get Brady to be thrown outside the pocket. That's what they need to do.
Yeah.
If they
just stunts all game,
just literally just get Montez Sweat.
You know how Brady
Chase Young right in the middle, and
Brady is like one of the best at climbing into the pocket when he feels the pressure coming off the sideline. But if there's somebody like an Aaron Donald or somebody like a Fletcher Cox who can push the middle and not give you that step in, then that's when he can be God. But
I would. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, Ron Rivera is a great defensive coach. I think he's quite underrated, and I think that him coming back now, and I think that's a big thing that contributed to them turning their season around. And I think this team will rally.
The year before as well.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
he won coach.
I think this team will rally around Ron Rivera, and I think they'll put up a fight, but I do think that Brady will be captain comeback, and
I hate it. I hate it so
you're
much.
Saying
he said Brady's gonna win.
I do think that Brady is not gonna lose.
But what you're saying is he'll be in a deficit at one point.
He will be in a deficit because he's gonna get his stuff rocked.
We also need to watch for Mike Evans' health as well.
Yeah, but it's more so about the fact that just Chase Young is literally young enough to be his child. And he's going to go into the pocket and just beat the living daylights out of him at basically every opportunity.
I don't know if you heard the broadcast yesterday, but they were praising Chase Young's leadership at such a young age. They were like, I forget who it was they were saying, but he said that his leadership and just the way he carries himself, it reminds him of Ray Lewis. That's what I heard when on the reports. I was like, ooh.
Well, do you ever watch the Mic'd Up? But Chase Young is like the most vocal person on that Washington team. It's crazy. Like more than the entire roster. Like he's always trying to get these guys motivated, amped, always trying to make the next play, like he's always pushing them forward. So for a rookie to be doing that, I just hope it doesn't blow up in his face, because playoff football is always a slap to the face for rookies, except if your name is Tom Brady. So
he wasn't a rookie in that year, though. He was like 2 years in, or 2 or 3.
Yeah, he came in and replaced Bledsoe, but not as a rookie.
Oh, he wasn't a rookie. I thought he was a rookie.
He came in 2000, and he didn't start until the 2001, I believe it was.
It was his first start that he won.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Either or.
And that first start was against Peyton Manning, the up and comer at that time. So he made a name for himself off of the guy but
hot take. Brady's the reason why Marshall Faulk and Manning broke up. Hot take.
Wow.
So people can put it in the comment section if they agree or disagree with that.
Wow.
That's an interesting thought. I never even put my mind into that.
Wow.
Hot take.
So score on this game? Buccaneers versus 2B.
This got high.
Right now they have Buccaneers as an 8-point favorite.
Buccaneers know how to score points, though. That's the annoying thing. Like he's gonna be dropping 44, 33, 32. So I'm gonna say.
Well, that's 20, also because the defense is hounding at that point.
I want to say 24, 28. Sorry, you were saying?
Since the Saints game, the defense has been up and down for them. Like those DBs, like you hit them with a double movie, you're pretty much gone at that point, because they bite on all those double moves.
Finished.
If the pressure's not getting home, then they're pretty much done so, because the strength of that defense is in the front setting.
Yeah. Well, it's really just Devin White and Lavonte David, but I can hear where you're coming from.
Shaq Barrett. No disrespect, Shaq Barrett and Pierre Paul. Pierre Paul has a couple picks with like half a finger or half a hand, bro. He has a couple of picks. He has more picks than Jamal Adams, actually.
Oh,
Take that in.
Like I said, like situations, man. He's just like Jamal Adams is running in there looking for that strip sack.
Exactly. Once he finds himself in like the perfect positions, that game against the Packers.
My favorite play by Jamal was versus the Giants last year when he just snatched it out of Daniel Jones' hand and ran it.
Yeah,
that was my favorite play.
That was sick.
That's just emasculating somebody at that point.
Yeah, nothing like some New York on New York violence, you know.
Facts.
Where everyone's a loser, to be honest. But let's keep it going.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm gonna pick Brady for that.
Guy doesn't even say the team's name. He just says the guys.
The Tampa Bay Gronkaneers.
Ugly team.
Hey, have y'all been seeing what Antonio Brown's been doing these last couple of weeks?
You mean getting shovel passes?
Do you not see that
sweet
pass from Brady?
Sorry, man.
Not see that sweet pass from Brady? What was it last week versus the Lions? That was a sweet pass on the seam there.
Key emphasis on the Lions. He was basically throwing. There were dummies.
I know the Saints fan is not talking. I know the Saints fan is not talking like Lamar didn't get his 6 touchdowns versus a porous Vikings defense. I know the Saints fan isn't talking right now. I know that's not what he's doing.
What do you mean?
The Vikings are any good? Are the Vikings any good?
Are they not better than Detroit?
In particular, the defense. Is that defense any good?
Is that defense
the same Detroit that they gave up like 26 points to?
Isn't Xavier Rhodes still balling for that team?
He's with the Colts.
Xavier Rhodes is still on the team, and you still have Harrison.
He's with the
Colts now.
Oh, is it the Colts? Okay, they still have Harrison on that team.
Harrison Smith. Who else?
Yeah. And I don't know anybody on that team.
They had that linebacker. What's his name? Anthony
Eric
Barr.
Kendricks.
Eric Kendricks too. Eric Kendricks, yeah.
And Anthony Barr. You know, some ballers.
What have
they have some players?
What have they done?
They have some players.
I'm not talking about what have they done this year? What have they done this year?
Nothing.
All right.
Nothing. They're still useless.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Antonio Brown has looked like AB of the Steelers in the last couple of weeks, and that's something they need going into the playoffs if Mike Evans is not healthy. You still got Chris Godwin and AB.
Yep.
That's more than some teams have.
Well,
I have a very mild take.
I don't want to hear that excuses when they take an L from Washington and say, "Oh, well, we didn't have."
I'm not gonna bring up the Mike Evans because those are two serviceable guys. The Packers, it's DeAndre or Devontae Adams, and who's next?
Valdez Scantling, and Lazard.
Yeah,
those guys are still pretty good.
But would you take those two, like Adams and Valdez Scantling, or would you have Antonio Brown and Chris Godwin?
Yeah, of course.
Which duo would you prefer?
It's not even a conversation.
As great as Adams is, if we're talking about duos, so the other guy has to pull his weight as well. Who would you prefer?
Yeah, of course. We don't.
So I'm not going to use the Mike Evans excuse. I'm not using the Mike Evans excuse.
I have a very mild take.
Yes, go ahead.
Share.
The greatest contribution to the Packers season and record is the NFC North. It's a mild take.
Mild. That is winter cold. It is cold as Lambeau Field. Hot.
It's mild. Some people might think that division is better than it is, but it's not. But it's a mild take.
Yeah.
When you can go and beat up your division because they're all just throwing out hot garbage, it's
busted.
Pretty easy. It's pretty easy to hit 10 wins. Get 6 from your own division. Come on.
Yeah. Well, he lost to the Vikings 1 week.
That's true. Yeah. So,
but the Sunday,
isn't that the same Vikings defense that was trash?
Well, it wasn't because of the defense, because that was a high-scoring game. That was just.
Come on, give me. I want my assist.
Dalvin Cook.
I want my assist in the stat sheet.
That was Dalvin Cook who won that game. That was Dalvin Cook who won that.
I'm just saying the defense.
I mean, the Buccaneers beat the Packers. So what are we really talking about here?
Am I a point guard?
What are we really talking about here? Because the Bucks beat the Packers as well. So, anyways, moving on to the Sunday game.
Okay.
If anything, the Packers, the Saints, and the Buccaneers is a rock, paper, scissors. Because the Saints beat the Buccaneers beat the Packers, and the Packers beat the Saints.
Listen, out of those three games, the Saints only lose to the Packers because of one Taysom Hill fumble. Outside of that,
that's okay. That's okay.
Outside of that,
you still lost.
And he's still playing?
Who? Taysom Hill?
Yeah.
Well, he's back to tight end, so he's back to catching balls.
Back to where he belongs.
Back to where I
Taysom
belong.
Tebow. This is what Tim Tebow would have been doing if he didn't want to be a QB.
Tebow's like Super Saiyan. Taysom is like Ultra Instinct version of himself. So we'll take it. We'll take it.
Okay. All right. Sunday games.
Disrespect.
The 1 o'clock game. I know this is a personal one. We got the Baltimore Ravens versus the Tennessee Titans. The 4
Run
o'clock
versus
is,
run.
The Bears versus the Saints, and the 8 o'clock, which I believe is the best game of that day, is the Browns versus the Steelers. Another part 3. So, how do we feel? Let's start with the Bills Titans. Big Dave, the floor is yours. How you feeling about that game?
Ravens Titans, you mean?
Ravens Titans.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Not good.
Wow.
You
know what's crazy?
I love my squad.
Dave, I just want to say this before you answer. I truly believe that somebody was listening to you, because ever since we made that podcast about Greg Roman not allowing Lamar Jackson to scramble, he's been scrambling.
And like he's actually looking for passes on the scrambles too now.
So whatever you say today can and will affect Sunday.
Gotta be careful then. I think the problem is that we're gonna try and focus on containing Derrick Henry. Not that we should.
I mean, he was single-handedly the reason y'all lost that overtime.
Yeah, but I think this year the wide receivers are playing a lot better for that team. Okay. Yeah, and I think that's gonna we're gonna try and blitz like Lattimore. We're gonna try and do some fancy things on defense. We're gonna try and throw some things out there.
You mean Marcus Peters?
Peters.
My bad. Yeah. I think we're gonna try and do things that we don't do because we don't face a player like that on a regular basis, and we're gonna get away from our game plan. And I think that's gonna put Lamar in a very awkward position.
Don't you think having played them already, that would kind of help them with their game plan?
Sure, but if you played somebody, if you fight somebody again who beat you up last time you fought them, are you really prepared to fight them?
I mean, if you fight them the same exact way, then you're gonna get stomped out. So it's all about adjustments. We hope.
Right, and I think Harbaugh is the coach to make those adjustments.
Yeah.
I still am outside the stadium every Sunday with my picket sign, fire Greg Roman. But we had a really weird up and down season.
It seems like y'all trending in the right direction just based off the last couple of weeks.
Right now we're doing well. Yeah, we're trending in the right direction right now.
And it's not like you're beating slouch teams.
No.
Other than the Bengals, but other than that, you're beating some. That Browns game was amazing, man. Come on, that's got to give you some hope.
Look, man. Here's my thing, right? We don't do well in the past few years against, Derrick Henry, and that's that's my big fear.
That's the monkey on the back, the elephant in the room.
At least you don't have Earl Thomas to be playing primary blocker for Derrick Henry, okay? So,
never forget, he was the same person who took shots at the Patriots saying, it didn't even look like they were trying to tackle him out there. He was the one who said that, and he was the poster boy for not tackling Derrick Henry.
Literally.
Turned him into a lead blocker.
Like, actually the poster. That's scary.
We got players, though. We got linebackers. Our front seven is not bad.
Patrick Queen, young linebacker. Yeah, I like it.
We got a good front seven. I think that gives us a shot.
Is Calais Campbell still balling out, or?
I mean, balling out is relative. He's old. He's still not a liability. That's the question.
He's not getting turned around. That's for sure. He's not getting.
He's 6'7", bro. He ain't gonna get turned around.
That's a big still.
I'll give it to us. I'll give 21-17. to the Ravens.
That's the kind of energy I want to see.
Right now, the
Okay.
Ravens are a 3.5 favorite, if that matters to you at all.
That is essentially what I just called. So I'm not mad at that. I think the touchdowns are going to come from AJ Brown.
Okay.
I think we will do our best at the I think we'll keep Derrick Henry contained. But you can see I'm obviously nervous about this matchup.
Hey man, I feel you. Honestly, like I feel like I'm putting faith in Lamar Jackson's like revenge tour. I'm putting faith in that like above anything else to overcome that run game, because like it can't happen
the
twice.
media gonna kill him.
Exactly.
He's gonna get eviscerated on that Monday.
Yeah, he needs to get a win. That's the real monkey on the back.
Yeah.
No playoff wins
in 3 seasons.
3 years.
But he still got still got an MVP, right? So like that's where people are gonna be like, okay, like, prove us right. Can he handle the pressure? I think so. I think he is one of the best leaders in the NFL. Just from a example standpoint, like show up and work, and also like an encouragement standpoint as well. So
work harder.
Yeah,
you already know.
Motto. Yeah.
That's the motto.
For me personally, I'm looking for Hollywood Brown right in this game. I've been waiting for him to turn into the Ravens version of Tyreek Hill, because that dude can fly. It's just that some days it's like Hollywood Brown touchdown, and then other days it's like, where are you at?
Where is he?
Yeah.
Could be the Des Bryant revenge tour. So
True.
You never
That
know.
too.
I mean,
hey, Des in the playoffs? Des wins a playoff game? That you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, no, we need it. I don't think the Titans really need it, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Well, there's no real expectations for them over there.
They don't need it.
Exactly.
Nobody's saying, the Titans need a Super Bowl ring, or they need to make it further in the
They were literally just in the AFC Championship. They can go sit down somewhere. As much as I love Derrick Henry, they can go sit down somewhere.
It's really Tannehill who people are gonna be like, hey, if you lose this game, it's gonna be because people are gonna blame Tannehill. They're not gonna blame Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
they're gonna be like, you didn't find somebody, you didn't protect the ball, whatever the case may be, and that might be the case. Our defense is fine.
Are they gonna put Marcus Peters on AJ Brown? I hope not.
In my mind, ideally we're playing zone for most of the game.
Okay.
And we're just trying to stay in the box.
What are you guys, a Tampa 2 or a cover 3 type of team?
Tampa 2.
You guys are Tampa 2, eh? Oddly enough, I love when people run cover 2 in Madden, because that's usually just a bomb down the middle of the field.
Yeah, it's easy. The tight end will cut the team in half.
Yep.
Seam route.
Yep. But yeah, I think the Ravens will win, just because before the season they were my Super Bowl pick. So I'm gonna stick to that. I do think it'll be close. It probably will be another Justin Tucker game winner, in my opinion.
I'd take it. Out of all those things, I trust him the most to make a clutch field goal.
Yeah, he's approaching that Adam Vinatieri category of GOAT kicker. So, yeah. 24-21, that's what I'll go with.
Not bad.
What you got, T? Did you already make your pick, or?
I said what's it called? It's gonna be a high scoring game too, because like I can see these guys like putting up points like mad. So I said 28-24.
28-24. Okay.
Yeah.
Up next, the game that follows is your team, the Bears, at New Orleans, the Superdome without any people in it. How you feeling? Y'all are a 10.
Why'd you have to even make that disclaimer? Why'd you even have to bring that up?
Because you got a dome team, man.
What does that
Come
mean?
on, man. You got a dome team, man.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Pretend, man. Don't pretend, man.
Not having any elements to worry about in January matters.
We've literally won more games outside of the dome than in the dome.
What about in the playoffs? What about when's the last time y'all had to go on the road in the frigid January weather in the playoffs?
We've never played Green Bay in the weather in the playoffs.
But you'll have to.
Hey, that means we're going to the NFC Championship. I like that optimism, David. I like that optimism.
If you win.
Well, you said y'all will have to. Nonetheless, no. The last time we played an away playoff game outside was in San Francisco, and it took a miracle. What's our guy's name?
You mean the Alex Smith to Vernon Davis?
It took a miracle Vernon Davis catch.
The catch
that won. So clearly it wasn't the dome team couldn't play in the dome. Like we were actually winning the game.
But y'all lost the game. Y'all lost the game.
But the elements had nothing to do with it.
But y'all lost the game.
Right. It was playing defense.
And the
has that improved?
The hostile.
Hopefully that has improved. Huh?
Playing defense?
Our defense is one of the best in the league, so clearly that shouldn't be a problem. What?
Hey,
who's a better defense?
Who's a better defense in the Saints right
playoffs, at least.
In the playoffs?
Yeah.
In the let's deal with NFC first. Who's a better defense than the Saints?
No, you have a point.
I think they're the best defense.
Yeah, the highest ranked.
Probably in the playoffs in general. I mean,
I'm saying this, and I'm still terrified about the playoffs because we all know what has happened in the last 3 years. So I don't even need to explain Saints playoffs.
Why don't you just tell us? Since we,
I don't remember. A lot of things have
lost.
It's been a long pandemic year. I've seen a lot of things. I've heard a lot of things. So I don't remember. How about you?
Let's rewind
about Jabari Greer. Did you say? Yeah. For you guys?
Yeah. What is this, 2009?
So what happened last year? What happened last year?
Okay, you want to talk about last year? You want to talk about the obvious offensive pass interference that Kyle Rudolph did in the end zone? We're not even going to bring that up? We're not going to bring that up?
I do like to think about Mr. Noodle Arm turning over the ball and going ghost in the second half. I do remember that. My memory's coming back to me now.
It's coming back to you? Yeah. When they finally put the reviewing they review every single touchdown except for that one.
Before you you say the Kyle Rudolph offensive pass interference, can you jog my memory how they were even in the red zone? Did they start at the 5-yard line, or did something happen before that? I do remember somebody caught a big pass downfield.
Sounds like the Giants to me. Complaining about not being able to control your own destiny.
Listen. Thielen, we all know Thielen is the Saints kryptonite, is the Marshawn Lattimore kryptonite up until this season. So we just exercised that demon on Christmas Day. The hope is to exercise our next.
Fair, Marshawn decided to take Justin Jefferson today. He didn't want that smoke with Thielen.
That's okay, baby. That's okay. It's all about
that Thielen smoke.
Listen, it takes all of us. As the NFL players have been saying, it takes all of us to win a game. There's no I in team.
We don't need to rehash the past. Let's talk about what's happening Sunday versus the Bears. How do you feel about that game?
I feel just as much as David feels about his game against the Titans, to be honest.
Really?
Everybody knows that the Saints, like, going into this game.
You worried about Trubisky, bro?
Yeah. No. You worried about Khalil Mack.
Thank you. As soon
Drew Brees got 3 ribs left.
Literally, this guy has. You know what Drew Brees looks like right now? Remember that SpongeBob episode where the SpongeBob was selling chocolate, and the guy that was like,
he's in the full body cast. My skin's made of paper. My bones are made of glass. He's got the IV connected.
That's what Drew Brees looks like right now, fam. Underneath that Saints fleur-de-lis jersey, the man is a chandelier inside his ribcage. So all I'm saying is that Kamara got
ball early.
Kamara got COVID,
he's not gonna be in there. Huh? He's not in there.
No. He has to test. They got to test him one more time. So make sure he's clear, because you have to be clear you have to miss at least 10 days. And if
Mm-hmm.
we played on Saturday, he wouldn't have been able to play.
Oh,
But because
so
we played
they
on Sunday,
just made it.
he has the ability to play. If we get our entire team back, take this in. We've had only 10 snaps with Michael Thomas, Drew Brees.
Is Mr. Slants
Alvin
gonna be
Kamara.
playing?
That's what I'm saying. There's only been 10 snaps with those 3 people on the field. We actually haven't had an actual team all year, except for the two Tampa Bay games.
What about the week 1? Wasn't
that's what I'm saying.
Other
Other than the 2 Tampa Bay games, which was week 1 and week 9, our team has never ever hasn't been complete. All our star players have been gone. So if that can happen, I will be a lot more confident knowing that this is a better team than the Bears. But I just say put the Bears away early. Don't let Mitchell Trubisky remember that he was picked over Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, and all of a sudden just come out of nowhere with some last game heroics. So put the game out of bed early, so that we don't have to worry about no Saints. Well, what do they call? What will they call it this time?
The Aints.
The miracle at the
Soldier
Chicago.
Field. Actually, no, it's not even Soldier Field. It's in the Superdome.
It's in the Superdome, but who knows what the Superdome? Some sad. I don't know what they're gonna call it, because we clearly have names for all these moments as a Saints fan. Minnesota Miracle. Who wrote that in the article? Anyways, Saints are winning. I'm hoping for 33-17 or 30 or.
So it's not close.
That's what I'm saying. Put it to bed. I don't want a close game. I'm praying for a big margin.
Okay.
Because if they lose, the podcast is dead. You will never see this face.
Oh, Timothy.
Wow, man, that's a really.
I just want to remind you, week 9, I let you do all your talking. I let you unleash everything. So if y'all lose this game,
I told you, but I can't.
You want to go on a trip to Belleville with me? We can pick out a nice kick that says "at least you tried" as well.
We'll send them
or Bart Simpson with the cake.
With the cake, at least you tried.
Send them wherever Rob Barker was supposed to go.
Listen, it's Super Bowl or bust. All right,
Super Bowl or bust.
That's what it is, man.
Come on, show for the show. Well,
no, I'm saying for the
really
Saints.
glad. Thanks for bringing me on. I'm really glad we got to do this. Super Bowl or bust? Are you serious right now, bro?
For the Saints, because let's be honest, I know
Super Bowl or bust.
We don't talk about the Saints too much, but if you really look at the Saints team, like this team has had practice squad players, and they're still at a 12-4 Their quarterback was dead, and they're still a 12-4 team. Their main wide receiver was gone. They have a good team, so that's why I'm saying if they don't go far, none of their accomplishments mean anything. Man. This is it. And Drew, like, let's be honest, he ain't coming back next year.
Malcolm Jenkins is at the end of the road as well. He's going for number 3. Will we consider him a Hall of Famer? You got Malcolm Jenkins in the Hall of Fame?
The threshold's pretty high for safeties.
Yeah, like
it's kind of tough.
Whose bust are you gonna put Malcolm Jenkins beside? Troy Polamalu? I mean, he could be like a 3rd round ballot Hall of Fame.
He doesn't have to be first ballot. But do you think he'll eventually get in that?
Yeah, maybe. I'll put him in there.
I wouldn't say
if
so.
Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer.
First of all, quarterbacks have the whole NFL sucking on their, so it is what it is. Sorry, it's a family show. But
it really is. No pause moments all episode. Take that in.
Hey.
Facts. But
salute to him. This is second episode without a pause moment, actually.
Yeah. I don't see it happening at all. No disrespect. He's not a Rod Woodson. He's not
nah, definitely.
Like you generally know when a safety's gonna be Hall of Fame, you know.
Can tell.
Yeah, the career is just a little bit too staggering.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how this what kind of play he produces this playoff. So
he could make this playoffs. He could say, "Yo, I'm a Hall of Famer."
No, it's usually stats for safeties because like
Okay.
they rarely show up in the stat sheet because what a safety usually does is take away options, so they're
So what
gonna
you
throw
say?
toward
Stuff
the
like
safety in chase.
tackles, picks,
Tackles, picks, forced
sacks.
fumbles,
Yeah.
sacks, um,
He's
even
definitely
tackle assists. To be honest with
he's
Mhm.
definitely like above mediocre in a
you.
lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
categories.
No, he's great. I am not gonna say he's not. It's just Hall of
Okay, would you
Fame, the
say he's a
NFL.
Saints Hall of Famer?
Yeah,
Nah, not even that. Let's
You
be
don't think?
honest. He was how long was he in the Saints compared to how long he was in the
Okay,
Eagles?
so a Eagles
um,
Hall of Famer, you put him there then.
But then he doesn't
I
like
don't know. Is Asante Samuel in that category?
When I think of
Because
Samuel, I think of his Patriots run.
really,
Patriots, Falcons.
and I can't put him in the Eagles Hall of Fame because it's gonna be sitting beside Brian Dawkins. And he
True.
is not in the same library as Brian Dawkins.
yeah, I'm with you on that.
Okay. Okay.
Let's just hope he gets this ring so he can, retire with that beard.
Mhm.
So
All
what do you
right.
guys think? What's the score?
Yeah, I say Bear or not Bears.
Scott really goes away.
It's either a close game. I see it only two ways. It's
Mhm.
either the Saints blow them out, or they have a very close game where we're like, oh, the Saints gonna blow it again, but somebody makes a play that saves them, and y'all are rejoice. That's how I see it going. I either see T is chilling by halftime, or he's on his toes in the middle of the fourth quarter. That's how I see it playing. I don't think there's any in between there.
Well,
But yeah, Saints 35-21. That'll be my pick. 35-21.
I got Saints 42-17.
golly, Dave, I love the energy. I
Uh,
love the energy.
I just think Michael Thomas opens a lot of things up in the middle.
Is he
Um,
confirmed playing?
Yeah, 100%. The only reason they
Okay.
rested him was because they didn't want him to get injured, but he will be playing.
Oh, I thought it was because like he still had a injury
Nah.
okay.
yeah, and I think he opens things up in the middle in terms of the attraction, and then I don't know
Hey,
if you guys
that
remember.
slant
There's
route. Who did
a
they have to guard that slant route?
well, I was gonna say I don't know if you remember. There's this other guy they have on the team named Manuel
Emmanuel
Sanders.
Sanders. This is
And
his moment.
yeah, he's gonna blow the top right off.
This is why they brought him here, no?
This is why they brought him up here.
This exactly
They
why.
play in completely different stratospheres.
Mhm.
One dude's at the line of scrimmage, the other one is in the end zone. So it's I suspect that's going to be a major role, and then you're going to have Alvin Kamara basically in the flats 90%.
Take away the check downs for Mr. Noodle Arm.
Take it.
Yeah, no, they're just I just think they're going to get the ball out quickly
Mhm.
and keep Drew upright.
Do you think we'll see a couple Taysom Hill throws?
I think Taysom Hill may get some snaps late in the game if they're up enough.
Okay.
Just because Drew Brees really is going to die this year.
Free James.
Golly, this is the same guy that said they're winning 42-17.
Hey, I said if they're going to keep him upright. I believe that.
Yeah.
I don't believe Khalil Mack's going to get home at all. I don't.
Exactly.
I think he will not record.
Isn't Ramczyk still on?
Yeah, Ryan Ramczyk's like one of the best.
That's usually the side that Khalil lines up on.
Yeah.
So
I suspect that Khalil Mack will go the whole game without the sack.
Okay. All right.
The O-line just has to play like literally like they're all gonna be fired if Drew Brees gets a sack. So if we can do that, we'll be okay.
All right. Last but not least, this is still my favorite matchup.
Steelers.
It's the
Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers, not the Iron Curtain.
It's not. I can't even call them the Iron Curtain anymore because they lost, so they're gone.
Versus the Cleveland Browns, and the Steelers are a 4-point favorite in this game. This is the primetime game. So, how are we feeling?
Browns win.
Browns win.
So you're saying they beat the Steelers back-to-back weeks.
Yep.
In a game where Big Ben wasn't playing, TJ Watt wasn't playing, Cameron Hayward wasn't playing.
Yep.
Wait. Isn't Cameron Hayward injured? They just took him off? Because was it Bud Dupree that was injured? Because like a couple of
Bud Dupree, he was hurt.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, come on. The Steelers are not losing that game. When it matters, Mike Tomlin is not for the black pride and culture. Mike Tomlin is not going to lose to Baker Mayfield twice in a row. It's impossible. Impossible.
Sure. You might say that. You might say that, but I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree.
So you think the Steelers, they were a mirage just because the early schedule?
Yeah. I think the strength of their schedule favored them.
Even though they beat the Colts last week and they beat a team like the Titans in a game where
it's not that they're
sloppy,
it's not
but
that
they still
they're
won.
yeah, it's not it's just that I think Ben's age is starting to show a lot more than it has in previous seasons. And I think Nick Chubb is going to keep the time of possession in favor of the Browns.
Oh,
and
so
that's gonna
the
throw
difference.
off.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's gonna throw off the rhythm of Ben.
So you think Ben he needs to be on the field to be impactful? He needs to get his snaps, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think if he's not, even if he's missing throws, if he's throwing under 40 attempts, I don't think they're gonna win the game.
Okay.
Are you hoping that running? Are you hoping
so
the
you
running
think
game
like
is
something in the 50s is how they win, like 50 attempts?
Yeah. If they win that game, Ben showed up in a major way.
Who's the X factor?
It doesn't even have to. The X factor. For me, I guess the X factor is I would say Claypool.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
I don't think Juju Smith-Schuster is gonna really match up well in this situation.
Boo Boo Schuster. Boo Boo.
I don't think he's gonna match up well in the situation. I think Claypool is gonna have a lot more opportunities, a lot more open looks.
Okay.
And that's if Ben finds him, and I think Ben will find him. But I don't think it's gonna be enough because I just don't. I think the time of possession is really gonna favor the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna I think they're gonna relegate Baker Mayfield to a game manager and not force him to make throws. And
unless he has to.
Yeah, I think they're gonna make Nick Chubb win this game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that's why you were thinking of the Browns winning. That running back tandem is really scary.
Yeah. Probably the best running back duo in the league.
Yeah, they're definitely up there.
Okay.
I want to have faith in that run game, but like I feel like what's name is gonna get a little too pass happy.
Baker.
If Baker gets pass happy, they will lose the game. Like if he does what you say and does manage the game, they have a huge advantage of winning this game, like possibly because the Pittsburgh run game is like dead since like week 8. I don't even know if it exists anymore. But I feel like Baker, number one, I don't like Baker fan club. I feel like Baker is gonna get too pass happy, maybe dare the headlights because of the playoffs, throw a couple of picks, and the defense of that steel wall, not curtain, that steel wall is gonna is gonna eat. He's gonna eat. So I'm going Steelers. I'm going Steelers. 28,
Steelers.
The Steelers.
I think this game just comes down to Stefanski being a rookie coach and Tomlin, he's been there. I think that will be like the tipping factor in this, especially since like we may see like the Browns kind of start slow just because they're excited to be there for the first time since 2002. And the Steelers, this is just like we've been there before. Let's just keep on doing our thing. So I'm going with Steelers as well.
If you guys don't think they're going to be conservative?
I think
the Browns are going to be conservative.
I see the Steelers. I could see them losing, but I see them winning more than I could see them losing is where I'm going.
I think the expectation is that people think of Baker Mayfield's personality and assume that they're going to try and play with flair.
Yeah.
But I think they're underestimating Stefanski's conservativeness. as a coach. You know, to have two like major dual threats at running back, and then you still have one of them in the top 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of running. I think if you watch them throughout the season, you realize how much they run and how much they're going to really depend on Baker Mayfield dumping off checkdowns.
Yeah.
When he's in those situations, you know, I can see
And
them
Kareem
definitely
Hunt
running.
can take it once he has that little dump off pass too.
Yeah.
So
I would be very surprised if they got into a pass happy situation. I'm looking at Baker Mayfield having between 20 to 30 attempts.
My prediction, 31-24. That's where I'm going. Steelers, yeah.
Yes,
31-24.
28-24 for me. Round.
Okay.
28-21.
So what is that? Like a Big Ben late game interception?
Early slow start.
Okay.
Yeah, slow start. And,
slow start, try and start to rally, but it's not enough.
Not enough.
There's those garbage time touchdowns.
Yeah, like first drives like a field goal. Just underestimating the secondary. And then just really slow to get going. 14 points in the third, and then kind of hoping for one more prayer and maybe a touchdown, an onside kick, and after that, but you know the deficit's already too big. So
okay.
I will say if Baker beats the Steelers twice in a row, his name is going to be officially printed.
You can't diss the man anymore.
No, I'm still dissing him. I'm still gonna diss him. I keep
well,
that same
about
energy.
media. I'm gonna say
Oh,
media.
Yeah. The media can never diss him ever again, for sure. Like it's not one of those primetime Kirk Cousins beats the Saints out of nowhere, but it's like actually like legitimate, like legitimized as a top quarterback in the NFL.
He's been playing well all year. I
know, which is crazy.
I think the shade is. I think it's just that people expected him to stay a kid, and that's just not what quarterbacks do.
Yeah. If it was Baker last year, then they'd be killing him. Him. He's done what he needed to do this year. And that's all you can really ask of a QB.
I just feel like I would never be his friend in high school. You know what I mean?
That's fine.
Like, that's the point. Like, if I met this guy in high school, Harold Brathwaite, I would have fought him. I can't rock with that. Like, I can only think of like a handful of players that's like that. Another one would be what's his name? Like a Kyle Rudolph or something. Like
I'd Mason Rudolph, you're talking.
No, Kyle Rudolph.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I'm such a hater like that. I wrote a book on it.
I mean, well, is there any other thoughts we want to leave before we wrap things up here? Any closing thoughts?
I think you guys didn't give your MVP picks.
Yes. Oh, I did say Aaron. Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay, Aaron. Yeah.
I want it to be Derek, obviously running back fan, but it's gonna be Aaron Rodgers.
Double discount.
I think it'll be criminal if they give it to Mahomes.
Oh, for sure.
It'll be just
They just, for the people who are listening, this is not Mahomes hate. You know who you are. I just have to clarify that every time I talk about Mahomes. Because if I say anything negative about him, you're a hater, bro. Why you hating on him? So you know who you are. Anyways, the way the media has been drooling over everything he does this year, even though he makes the same type of passes that we see Matt Stafford make, it's just that he's doing it while winning.
Yeah, I told you everything is forgiven when
if they take it away from Rodgers when he has put up the better numbers with the less talent on the offensive side, I think it'd be criminal still.
And it's the wins, man. Like Rodgers is out here blowing people away while the Kansas City Chiefs are.
You can say, okay, fine. They only lost one game, and in that game, it took 40 points to beat them. But look at the way they won. Look at the way they've been winning. Like the the last 7 games, it's all been 3-point game, 3-point, 6-point, 3-point.
It's been literally last game heroics from, and I guess that's like Mahomes is the difference maker.
Yes.
Let's not get it twisted, because without him, we saw what happened against the Chargers literally last week. We lost, but I just feel like Aaron Rodgers,
even though the Chargers were winning in that same week 2 game before the.
But that's what I'm saying.
What's his name?
Mahomes magic.
What's his name? Herbert. He threw that one pick he didn't need to throw when he could have ran for first down, and that was pretty much the end of that game. At that.
So you mean Roy Herbert?
Yes, Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's winning Rookie of the Year. I think Chase Young will win Rookie of the Year. It's between Chase Young and Jeremy Chin, the safety for the Panthers.
Yeah.
Comeback Player of the Year.
Obviously,
Alex Smith.
He's in the playoffs. Yeah. Justin Jefferson for offensive rookie.
Yeah. I can't think of anybody else.
What about the MVP? What about the offensive MVP?
Offensive Player of the Year, most likely Kamara or Dalvin Cook, or maybe even Derrick Henry. They might even give it to Derrick Henry for offensive player.
Ooh, I guess I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
Well, I think it's between those 3. It's Cook, Kamara, Henry. I think those will be the top 3 for the offensive player.
Did Kamara miss any games?
Kamara
just this last one because of COVID.
This is the healthiest he's been in a while, actually.
Since he friggin' first entered the league.
Yeah.
And if, God willing, that he tests negative, he will be a healthy scratch in playoffs. So
defensive player, I say TJ Watt.
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah, he's got like what? Because
he leads the league in sacks.
By a lot.
Was like 15?
Not by 15, but he does have like.
No, he has 15 sacks or something.
It's him, then Hendrickson, your Saints.
Yes, sir.
Aaron Donald is tied with Hendrickson, Reddick from Cardinals, and Darius Smith.
What about Myles Garrett?
He was leading the league in sacks for a long time, but he's 6 with 12.
Oh.
This is a pretty low sack year, actually.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
I mean, you got 2 DTs in the top 3, so.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about Aaron Donald being a man among boys every time he lines up?
Remember 2018? I'm pretty sure he was. They showed the advanced stats where he was double teamed. Next gen. There it is. They said he was double teamed on 90% of the snaps, and he was still leading the league in sacks. Like, that is insane.
He will go down as the GOAT at DT.
I think he already is. I really think he already is. I really think he already is. Like, what other defensive tackle do you think of that did it better than Aaron Donald? The only other defensive tackle that comes to mind would be Warren Sapp.
I mean, even Warren Sapp, I don't know if he's better than Richard Seymour, and Richard Seymour also played a little bit outside as well. But I hear you. The list is a very short list of people you could even
at defensive tackle.
Yeah. I mean, Haloti Ngata could have had that career, but we're not gonna dwell. But I think Aaron Donald, get him some help. That's gonna be my closing thought.
But didn't they get Leonard Floyd?
Yeah.
Michael Brockers.
Give him some help.
All right. Fair enough. All right. If that is all, then I guess we could call it a wrap on episode 10. A full 10 episodes of Overtime with B&T. Thank you to Chris Broussard, aka David
Lake, aka the Piano Man, aka Fire Greg Roman.
Fire Greg Roman. That's my last thought.
Next time you come on, we need that in the background, right on that wall. Fire Greg Roman.
Wait. It all depends on what happens on Saturday.
What do you mean it depends? What do you mean it depends?
So either way, you still want him to get fired?
Of course.
Even if they win?
Of course.
Oh, okay, that's true. Never mind.
Like their relationship's already spoiled, irreconcilable.
That
Hey
same
man,
energy.
Todd Haley, if you're out there, give us a call. We would love to see you do.
Hey, even try and get Eric Bieniemy. Even though I think he should go to Houston, I think him and Houston would work
He
out.
He should be a head coach, man.
Yeah, Eric Bieniemy.
You know what? If North Turner, if you're done coaching, if North Turner,
where is
in the
he?
chat, if you know,
Where is he right now? Is he
wherever North Turner at, bro. If you are not done coaching right now, come find your way to the Ravens. We love you.
You guys should get what's my boy's name from the Jets that just got fired?
Oh,
Adam Gase. Hell no.
Or Greg Williams.
Greg Williams is a defensive coach.
I know, but just in case.
Just in case. No, I need just let's just optimize Lamar Jackson. Let's just do that. Let's do it.
Yeah, but instead of having your defenders getting turned around, they can aim for the head or chop the legs off. So, what do you want?
Not a bounty program, if that's
why not? Everyone does it.
Everyone
does it.
Hey, sounds like a Saints fan to me.
You're darn right, baby. Black and gold.
Anyways, you can find us. Well, you can find me first and foremost. You can find me at Twitter. Actually, not Twitter. Instagram. The Brandon Andrew. The B is a 6. You can find Tim at Dem1s. DEM1NEZ. Or I say Z. Because that's how I was raised. I say Z. And you can find Dave at I don't remember your info.
Mr_Piano Man.
Yes, sir.
Piano Man.
And if you are watching this on YouTube, please remember we usually leave in the description the links to all the podcast platforms. We're on Anchor, we're on Google, we're on Apple, we're on Spotify, and we're on a couple of those other no-name ones that nobody really cares about because most people either have an Android or an iPhone and they can play it off of Google or Spotify or Google Podcasts. Appreciate all you guys for listening. This is another year. Hopefully we start dabbling into other stuff as the season comes to an end. We're going to need some more content to keep you guys entertained until the season resumes in August, because that's usually when the preseason starts. We'll most likely cover the draft and all the other stuff. But yes, we are working on branching out to other sports and other things of the sort. Appreciate you guys nonetheless. I appreciate.
Just want to thank everybody for watching. Checking, like I'm actually amazed that people are actually taking their time to watch these videos. I'm not amazed, but I'm just so grateful that people are taking their time to watch these videos. Whether it be 2 views, 3 views, 4 views, 5 views,
yes,
whatever.
Even if you come for 5 minutes and this is bored, I still appreciate that you took the time. You took the time out of your day. That means us 3 or whatever. It's just Brandon and I. We are affecting people who we don't know, but who are still getting entertainment out of what we do. So Overtime with BNT, I'm so grateful this is a thing. Let's keep it going. 2021 ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Big trust, woo woo. If you got a problem, come at me, come see me. Yes, sir. All right. Have a good night or morning or afternoon, depending on when you're listening/watching. Peace out.